Morning, guys. Leslie at Inskeep Bakers. Oh, it's going to be a hot one today and pretty much all week. So I'm going to try to get out to the garden and get some tomatoes harvested. We moved the turkeys. We'll go through that later, but get some stuff harvested this morning while it's still kind of juicy before the heat sucks all the moisture out of it. Good morning, turkeys. Oh, this garden has become even more of a jungle, but gotta make do with it. I wanted to be out here over an hour ago, but I had to finish getting stuff for dinner prepped, and what else did I was trying to work on getting today's video ready to go out, and it was taking an awful long time to get stuff downloaded. So I'm gonna go through, harvest everything I can. We'll take a walk around and check out the turkeys and everything else. We went to a goat show yesterday. I honestly didn't even get a single picture. We didn't do all that great, but we didn't do horrible either, so we learned. We got some feedback from the judge. Although we didn't place very well, he told us we had some great kind of basics to work with, good udder structures and attachments and things like that. We just need more capacity, which I knew we needed. And that's what I've been trying to work on, so at least I know that talking to the judge, we're kind of on the same page and I'm going in the right direction. Some of these on the ground have some dirt on them, but that's okay. I will show you what I get harvested here this morning. I'll try to put in some pictures from previous harvests this year so far. I know I haven't taken pictures of everything, but I know our last harvest was a pretty good one, and I've got some pictures of that. I do have, I'll pick them even like this because they will finish ripening in the house. I've just been freezing them. I core them. Just basically cut the core out, or if they have any spots that are bad. And then I just freeze them right on a cookie sheet. Once they're completely frozen, I dump them into a reusable shopping bag and leave them in the freezer until we're ready to can. That one has sunburn. That's what the white spot is. So if I leave that out here, it's got a little bit of bug damage, but it's okay. It will get mushy, so I'll put that in the basket. More than likely I'll end up just giving it to the pigs or something, but we'll take it in for now. But once we're ready to can tomatoes, I will take them out of the freezer, and as they start to thaw, the skins peel right off of them, and then I don't have to blanch them. Your fingers get a little cold if you don't let them thaw enough, but I prefer that over blanching. I despise blanching tomatoes. Really, I despise blanching anything just because it's a pain. I don't like to stand there and over boiling water and drop food in to turn around and take it right back out, and try to keep water cold to stop the cooking. And I found this is my preferred way, the easiest way for me, and that's what works. These romas kind of laid out across the ground. It's a little bit harder to harvest, but it's not terrible. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish harvesting. I don't know if you guys can see. We'll take a quick walk from one end to the other so that you can see before I harvest my jungle. So these got pretty heavy and have kind of toppled over, but that's okay. We'll still harvest everything we can off of them. There's all kinds of ripe tomatoes in there, and tomatillos, while they're still pretty small, are growing well. Oh, that one's any good. That one harvested itself. It was laying on the ground down here. So, lots of slicers. All kinds of goodies. All of these romas. These romas are probably getting pretty close to being done since they are determinants. Not as many on the San Marzanos, but they are starting to finally ripen. Lots and lots of these romas. And we have elderberries that I think are ready to harvest. How dark they are. So I'm just going to cut the whole group of them off, put them in a bag, and stick them in the freezer. Grapes, 2 grapevines are going crazy. We need to get them on a fence for trellis. Okay, I am going to harvest my tomatoes. Right, so those are our Roma tomatoes from those 11 plants. There's a few in the basket here that are no good or have some bug damage. Now we're going to try to make it through all these weeds and pick the San Marzanos. I think I'm going to have to go find some more baskets in order to pick the slicers. Well, I'm not sure where it turned off. It said it got too hot, but that is our San Marzanos. Put them over here. So that is 6 plants versus 11 plants. And this is, I think, a half bushel basket, and those are 1 bushel baskets, so significantly less. This is what was not in the best shape. I'm going to dump this out so I can put my slicers in there. There is 1 slicer here. I always try to pop the stem tops off so that they don't poke each other and get damaged. We'll see if we can find you a shady spot so that you don't turn off because you get too hot. Let's see, where can I put you guys? Maybe we'll start over here. I'm just going to set them on the ground. That way then I can stack them nicely in the basket. Now once I get a pile here. I find these guys tend to be a little bit softer. I don't like to stack as many because then they squish and get soft spots. I've got, from my last harvest, I think I put that one's got a bunch of bugs in it, so we'll cut the top off that one. But I had put all of my slicer tomatoes in those strawberry flats. And when we had bought strawberries in February from the FFA. And I think I have 3 strawberry flats with full layers, just kind of laid out flat, not stacked, of slicer tomatoes in the house already. So I think these next couple of days that are supposed to be really hot are going to be spent coring and freezing tomatoes. I like to set these upside down on their shoulders, trying to get, if I have some that are less ripe, on the bottom. They're a little bit firmer and less likely to squish so bad. I will take these in the house and try to get them out of the basket. I will probably have to get the strawberry flats of tomatoes frozen so that I have somewhere to lay these kind of flat. Let's see. basket. I know I've got more baskets in the house if I need to go get them. I'm just kind of lazy, didn't want to make that trip back into the house until I start carrying things in. I think I've seen people make tomato pie. We might have to try that. I think that would be something that we would like. And we definitely have plenty of tomatoes. So even if I try a pan of it and we don't really like it, we have enough tomatoes to try. Okay, well that is 3 celebrity plants. Oh, I think I'm going to have to carry some of these baskets in and bring out some more baskets. I'm not going to have a choice. But I guess as long as I make the trip in with something in my hands, it's not that bad. I think I will just pick everything and set it down here. If you can't tell, tomatoes is definitely one of our biggest crops in the garden. As long as I get some tomatoes and peppers, I'm happy. Jason really likes cucumbers, but I did not get any planted yet this year. I was hoping to maybe get a fall planting in, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I wanted to get a fall planting of green beans in as well, and I haven't gotten there either. Ones like this, there's a little bit of damage on it. It's not a big deal. We'll just cut that part out. It's already kind of scabbed over whatever it was. It could have been growing up against a vine or something rubbed it. Oh, I am sweating. Time to go over to the other side. I think I've got the last of the celebrities here. Get them all picked up off the ground and brought over. Okay, this one's a little bit soft. So is that one. Okay, we'll have to get another basket for these, but we're gonna go ahead and pick the big boys, right? Yeah, big boys that are behind you guys. There's 2 plants, so let's get you moved. Okay, well, I had to go in and get a new battery for you guys, so I found another basket and grabbed a box to put peppers in if we find peppers. This green tomato fell as I was getting up earlier, so we'll just take that in. I don't think it's started to ripen at all, that it will actually ripen to red, but we'll find something to do with green tomato. Never had fried green tomatoes, so maybe we'll try it. Oh. And then I think I'm going to put some of these on top of here because I'm going to have to pick the big boys. There's 2 big boy plants, and I have to have somewhere to put those. And these were the ones that had a little bit of kind of soft spots, so I'm going to make sure that those go on top. And the green tomato, I'll take the stem off so it doesn't poke anything. Set this to the side. Get those big boys harvested. Oh, tell you what, I'm tired already. After being out in the heat all day yesterday, I think somebody said it was like 95. Maybe it wasn't quite 95, but I thought that's what I heard someone say. Ooh, that one's gonna have a soft spot since I dropped it. But we had to be to the fairgrounds yesterday by 8 o'clock for our goat show. So we were up, I think it was, we had to leave by 6:30, and I think we were up at 5:30 or something, I don't know. It was crazy for the not morning person I am. It was hot from the time we got up yesterday. By the time we got home, got everything put away, watered the garden, did all the things that we had to do after the show. And I took a shower and sat on the couch. Oh, this one's a little soft. Set that one to the side because it's pretty ripe already. But I sat on the couch and tried to work on that video that I was trying to finish this morning. And I don't know if it was the computer or the internet, but it just really wasn't cooperating with me. So, like I said, I got stuff ready for dinner. Ooh, that one's split already, so that one is beyond ripe. That's what happens when you don't get out here to pick. That one's squishy and icky on the bottom. I'm going to toss it out there. But luckily the neighbors were home yesterday, so they came over and fed the pigs breakfast for me. Came over and sprayed them down a little bit to try to keep them cool. think that's about all the big boys. I did find another celebrity over there. Ooh, basket's stuck. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these in the basket. Maybe. The least ripest on the bottom. They won't squish as easy as the soft ones that are super ripe. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna look up a recipe for, oh, that one's soft, it's partially split. Probably because it was so ripe, and then I came home and watered last night before I harvested. So it's split. But I think I'm gonna go, I think I'm just gonna give those to the pigs or the chickens. Anyway, I think I am going to look up the recipe for tomato pie. I think, what did I see? The Holler Homestead makes it a lot and they love it. So I think I'm gonna go on and see what her recipe is and give that a try tonight. And cut up and have marinating right now a roast to make barbacoa. And I don't know if we'll have that tonight or if I'm gonna let it marinate until tomorrow. We'll see. I'm just looking to see. There's some partially ripe tomatoes, but I think I'm gonna leave those until the next time. I have more than enough now, so I'm going to probably run all these tomatoes in the house, get the stuff together for the pigs, and then we'll go in and see if we can find some peppers. Alright, got my box for peppers. I did leave the San Marzano basket, that way if I need to put like some mild peppers or separate some peppers, I can do that into there versus all of them in the box so I know what's what. Now we're going to step foot into the really untamed jungle. I've given up on the weeds in the portion that we're not using. I just walk through them. There's all of our peppers. We're going to go through and harvest from all of these today. And I was gonna pull out everything except the butternut squash, but I think we'll try to harvest what we can, give the rest of the pigs, leave the butternut squash and the rest of the dead plants, and do it another day. I just looked and it said it's 80 degrees, feels like 85. Oh, it's not even lunchtime yet and it kind of hurts to breathe. So I'm gonna see what we can harvest for peppers, get them in, and then I've got to go milk before it gets too much hotter. At least I can get in the shade and have fans going in the goat shed, so it won't be as bad as being out here cooking in the sun. Let's see if I can find somewhere to put you guys. I don't think there's any habaneros ready to be picked. I'm sure there's banana peppers. There might be hot wax, pepperoncini peppers. I'm sure a bunch of Anaheim. If there's big enough Anaheim, we might do some stuffed peppers and tomato pie. I know there's serranos, but I do want to let a bunch of those turn red. And red jalapenos at some point so that I can make sriracha and poblanos. I want to make sure I get some poblanos because I want to make a roasted poblano cream sauce for when we do our barbacoa. And I think there's probably a few green peppers in there, bell peppers, so let's see what we can get. If I can find a shady spot to put you guys, I don't know. think you guys will stay there. So we'll check the habaneros. Everything's green. I don't see any orange. Ugh. Squash bugs are moving over, so I'm gonna have to do something with them. I have lots of banana peppers. One plant is just producing like mad. So, I think I said before, I've just been pickling a jar or two at a time. I just slice them, leave the seeds in. I might cut the seeds out of the very stem end. It gets a little tough. But I just do a basic, I think it's vinegar, a little bit of water, pickling brine, and usually I'll put a jalapeno or two sliced up in there, just because pickled banana peppers, we would prefer them to be a little bit spicy, but they only water bath for like 10 minutes, so I can put them in if I'm making jams or anything else that water baths for 10 minutes. There's quite a few things that do. So we got 9 banana peppers. And I said those habaneros are not ready. I'm going to check this other plant. I still don't believe this other plant is habanero. It doesn't have any blossoms or fruit yet. I think it's going to be something else, but time will tell. These Tabasco plants are going crazy. Last year they were nowhere near that big. So this is an example of why I wanted a separate, I left the basket with the San Marzanos out here, because the banana peppers and the hot wax peppers look almost identical, but one is spicy and one is sweet. So I think that'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 6. Got 6, and then a little guy here that was on the ground. So hot wax, banana pepper. They look very similar. So I'm going to take these hot wax out and put in that San Marzano basket. And we will move on to, whoa, sliding down the hill. See if we can find, we'll see if we can find a bunch of pepperoncinis, what, I don't know. Whatever they're called. Kind of hard to find you guys a good spot in the shade where the camera won't get too hot. So, pepperoncini, whatever. Peppers I'm gonna pickle. Yep, that's what I'm going with. I don't know, I think it said you're supposed to harvest these like 3 to 4 inches long, but a little bit smaller makes kind of a nice bite size if Jason's eating them with Italian beef or something. And again, I just do these the same as those banana peppers. Just in a plain pickle brine. Some of them are getting pretty big. It's been I don't know, probably almost 2 weeks since I've picked these. And I try to pack them really tight in a jar, but it never fails that they always obviously end up shrinking kind of as they cook in the canning process. And then they just float in my brine. I think the last ones I did put a couple garlic cloves in. That's pretty good. Big sized one. I think I put a couple garlic cloves in. Sometimes in the any other pickled peppers, I might put some chunks of onion. And you could put some seasonings, or sometimes I just mix some different peppers. I'll just write on the lid of the jar what kind of peppers are in it. Sometimes I'll just mark it as a hot pepper mix, and it's just whatever I put in. If it's too hot for me and the kids, Jason will eat it. Spicy is his thing. That's a big one. He likes things that no one else can eat. I should look up some different recipes to find other things to do with these besides just pickling them on their own. I've seen people use them once they're pickled to make, like, what is it, Mississippi pot roast. So I guess if you have any other ideas to use some of these peppers or tomatoes other than pickling and just canning, hit me up with them. We'll try some different things. I told the neighbor I was looking for a good salsa recipe. I want enough bite to it that kind of makes my mouth hot, but it's typically not hot enough for Jason. And then I can always make hotter stuff for him. And she sent me a really awesome recipe that they use. I tried it. Jason approved, so we're probably going to make a bunch of that. Probably try canning it. Well, not probably. I know I will. Because I don't have fresh tomatoes all year to make it. Guess if I freeze them, or I could always use my canned tomatoes, but if I'm canning them, I might as well as can them already done in salsa. I do leave some in the freezer whole because we'll take those out and make tomato soup. If you like tomato soup, stuff from the can, tomato soup homemade with garden tomatoes, oh, nothing like it. I don't remember exactly what's in it, but it's super easy. It's like tomatoes, garlic. Of course, we put extra garlic in. I think like onions and some chicken broth. And you can make that and dip some grilled cheese in it. Yeah, that's the best. There may be a few other things in it, but that's the basics. think it was supposed to be like a 3-ingredient tomato soup. I gotta move you guys. My pepper jungle. There's what we got so far. I'll show you once we're done. Trying to keep you guys under the pepper plants. That one's not very big, but I'm gonna pick it because obviously the bugs have been eating it. I'll just cut the end of it off. Honestly, I've never had these peppers do quite so well. I think all of these peppers are doing pretty good. Sure, it's because, oh, it's a brand new bed. Half compost, half black dirt. It's, I'm sure, never had anything planted in it, at least not in the last, I don't know, probably 15, 20 years, other than maybe some grass. I'm sure it's probably been longer than that. It's all dirt that came from my dad's new place that he's building. He had excavated out for foundation. I always miss peppers, and then we get really big ones the next harvest, but that's okay. It's getting hot. I'm getting tired of being out here already. Okay, I'll show you that pile when we get done. Since I'm sitting right here, oh, sweating my butt off. Oh, there's one I missed. We're gonna turn around and see if we can find Anaheims. Let's see what we've got. Guess we'll start in this plant. Okay, so that's an Anaheim pepper. To me, they're like a green pepper. They might have a little more bite to them. I guess I'd have to look it up and see what they technically say. But I just use them in place of green peppers. And this plant it's got a lot on it, but not a lot to harvest yet. I do, if you want them a little bigger, they take a little bit of time, but if I can get enough to do some stuffed peppers for dinner. Oh, that would be a nice one if you kind of slice it that way. They don't have to be real big because I can make a bunch of them. I'll have to get to the other side of those. Oh, give me the pepper. Oh, I'm reaching too far. They don't want to give. Some of these that are smaller, I'll probably just kind of chop up, stick in the freezer. I'd like to freeze dry some, but I want to, oops, get some of these. I don't even know how well you guys can see it, but I want to get some of these off the bottom of the plant that have been in there on there a little bit longer. Let the top of the plant kind of start to grow its peppers. And there's a bunch of smaller. Well, the camera keeps saying it's hot, so I went ahead and just picked everything and figured I'd bring you back through. So these are banana peppers, pepperoncinis. Let's see if I can get it where it's not such a shadow. Anaheims, poblanos, serranos, and a handful of bell peppers, jalapenos. They'll go out with the San Marzanos. And then these were just the mucho nacho. They're not real big yet, but I just picked the bottom of all the plants. That way they would continue to grow and blossom. Peppers up higher. Take all this stuff in the house and go milk. Maybe later I'll come out and see if I can find any good squash down here on the end. But I'm dripping and it's hot, so I'm gonna give up for now. Alright, I've got this bag of elderberries. I just threw them in a Ziploc. I'm gonna let them freeze, and then they say all you do is shake it and they all fall off the branch. So that should preserve those. I also did put a bunch of the dill seed that was out there in a Ziploc bag as well. So eventually we'll separate that and clean it, but I'm going to take you for a walk around to do waters. Oh, these are the last batch of Cornish that I got. I think I ordered 40 of them, and the gray ones are my lavender Orpingtons. As I go around and check and refill waters, I'm just going to take you guys with me. They are thirsty. They had some water in there, but I'm sure it wasn't very cool. Jason needs to stop and get me some more feed. I used the last of it last night for the chickens, the meat birds. That's where we parked yesterday. We got home last night, opened the trailer door, and just let them go. Everybody that went to the show roamed the yard for a little while, and then we put them away. So we're doing another small county fair on Thursday, so I'll just leave it here, leave it hooked up and ready to go, and then we don't have to hook the trailer back up and do all of that. Hi, turkeys. Obviously this is not hot, but they're staying in. Every now and then I get one over with the meat birds. There's some meat birds out, but we're gonna get their water. It's probably about, look out, half full. Hi birds. You guys need to get back into your fence. The white rocks are still just a little bit too small for the fence. They can sneak through. These Cornish cross in here, I think there's like 11 of them, maybe 12, are getting huge. They are not going to do very good in this heat this week, so we need to see about getting them processed, but they probably won't get processed before the weekend. I have to grab the hose. No! Little brats. What is with you guys? Quit pecking me. Oh my goodness. Turkeys are not smart. Oh, that was warm water. That was gross. Chicken, why are you still out? Alright, doelings are still in the same place. We did have to take the topper out, which they had back here as a shelter, so we gave them this. We needed that for in the back of the truck. Ooh, Eldred's piglets getting big. Freya's piglets also getting big. I'm going to show you everybody else, and I'll come back and dump their waters and give them fresh, cool water. Ooh. This weather makes it hard to breathe. Oh, let's see who's over here first. Come out and hose them down. There's Thor. Hi, big guy. Big old feeder pigs. Trying to stay cool. Yeah, I'll hose you down in just a minute, ladies. Oh. Cows are out in the old arena area eating grass. There was 3. The other 3 are over here. I think that's Freya out there. I don't see Eldred. Bucklings, wethers. I do have to think that was Eldred. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but she must have hit the fence because she screamed. Yeah, this is Freya. Where is your buddy? She better have stayed on our side of the fence when she hit it. I was waiting to... Yep, here she comes. She was probably down there trying to stay cool in the ravine. There she comes. Yep, she looks kind of wet and muddy. Did you hit the fence back there? Run, pig, run. Where'd you go? That hurt, huh? Alright, well, my second battery of the day is about to die, so we'll end it here, and I'm going to go cool everyone down. That's it, guys. Have a good day. See ya on the next one.